This is my scrapyard. There's my workshop. But anyway, I'm trying to make Dave's farm scooter thing he made out of a bicycle. I'll show you what I got done so far. I got a weed eater engine, and I welded that sprocket on the other side. But before I welded it, so I knew a weld would probably fail, I took a sprocket, the same other side of the sprocket that's on this bike. Let's see, I took that off, and I took this thing right here. Has these little bumps in it. The gear does. It's kind of like a key for it. And what I did was I took it to the grinder. I made a little half circle which would hold each one of those bumps, and I made that onto the part. And that piece was threaded. And so then I hammered it in between the sprocket, and actually it was a pressure fit that did really good. And so then I was just able to screw that onto that threaded pedal piece, whatever. And then after that, I didn't have a washer big enough. You wouldn't even need a welder, actually. You could just use if you had a big washer, and you could put a bolt on there, the bolt it comes with. But I just since I didn't have a washer, I welded it on there more, just so it won't slip off. And I repacked the bearings, because I know Dave's farm, Dave Rock, he used a real nice bearing or something like that. But I decided I'd just see how long just that crappy bearing will run. It's just, I can actually show you one of it. It's like this, but a little bit bigger. That's basically it. And yeah, it'll be a pretty cool project. I don't have the same gear set that Dave has. This is probably 5 times bigger, so he said he can get his to go to 30. I'm thinking maybe mine will go to 15 maybe, which is still pretty good. But yeah. Oh yeah, and you need a grinder to cut off the pedals. Angle grinder. But yeah. Here's what I did. I took this sprocket that was inside there, and there's a little ring around here, and there's a little key bumps in there to keep it from not turning. And so yeah, I'm gonna cut about that much of it off at the bottom of the threads, my grinder, so I can get the fit on the weed eater engine. It's right there. See that little thing comes out, and then that way I could fold that little thing over and put a weld there. Hopefully that would hold it. So now that I've taken my angle grinder and cut it off, that should be a good fit, hopefully. Yeah, it's very hot right now. Here's what we got going on. Here's the little anthropic clutch on the weed eater. Here's my sprocket. Fits right on there. Now, here's the interesting part. I'm going to need to weld that, or if I had a screw that went right through the side. I don't have a drill powerful enough or a bit that would go through metal like that. So I'll just try to weld it. Maybe if I could fold that edge over or something. Pretty cool. Now, I've never welded on a engine of a weed eater, or any engine actually. So I'm assuming that if I had the power button on like it is now, that's going to mess up some electrical problem or something. So I'm going to disconnect them little bitty wires just in case, and then I'll try. I welded the sprocket onto the engine. It kind of just melted the part of the anthropic clutch that kind of stuck out there, and so I think it's good. I don't know, we'll find out when we start trying to drive it, if it just pops off. Yeah, if I have to, I could put a weld in between there. The problem is the welder's so strong, or I have it set on such a high setting, that it kind of turned that metal to crap fast. So this should work. Yeah, I just tested the engine to make sure it worked after being welded on. Yeah, it does. For me, the hardest part is going to be finding how to mount the engine on the bike. So next time I'll weld the sprocket onto the back tire. This is what I go on here. I want this sprocket to be on the back tire for the right gear ratio. But there's a nut there. I've tried to turn it as I want to turn. I've never taken it off with kind of like this. I know how to take off that side, but not this side. So I'm going to see if I can turn that. I think it's counterclockwise now. And if not, I'll have to cut this and see if that torques a different way, which I think that might actually be welded. I'm not sure. I was able to loosen that back bolt thingamajig. It actually has no corners to grab with a wrench or something. So I took my locking crescent type thing and I gripped it on there and I just gave it a twirl and it turned loose and then that came off. And what we have here is I've lined it almost perfect, I think about perfect on there. And actually that clamp thing's holding it on, and then since it was pitching that way, I put my wrench there to hold it on. And I'll try to get a weld right in between there and that bolt. A couple good welds, and maybe if I can, that'd be good. Yeah, I just got to finish welding all that. Not pretty, but it's good. And after that, I turned it and I realized that the wheels kind of tacoed and the gears kind of tacoed. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, I'll have to fix that. I don't want to break my welds though. Well, I'll see if it works. Because, you know, I got hundreds of bike chains, so I don't really care if they snap. But anyway, next I'll try to start putting things together. So here's what we got going on over here. I realized after that I welded to the bolt. You don't want to do that. So I took a grinder and then a screwdriver, got as much as I can off. That way this tire can turn and only get drive when that pedal's turned, which pedal will be off in a second. And so these are the welds holding on, the ones to the gear behind it. And they seem pretty stable. You turn the pedal, it turns. That one there's trying to screw off, so I might have to put a weld there. So yeah. Next will be engine mounting. Which will be hard. Oh, I got this awesome seat for it. Yeah, I hate that small little seat. Where is it? Where is it? Banana seat. It's like a motorcycle seat. These things are awesome. Here's what we got at the end of day one. I got it all put together now. The tough part's going to be mounting the engine. This is where a cup holder was right there. You see them two threaded holes or whatever. Maybe I can use that, or I was even looking at down here. There's this little tab that held a chain guard. Could try that. And the engine's probably going to sit right about here with the part hanging over that way. I could actually take maybe some of those pipe clamps or something and try that, and then put back bracing on it. And yeah, it'd be fun. Here's the day we've all been waiting for. I had to make some brackets. I made those that go to there, so it doesn't want to move a lot. And I have a back bracket, and that's all I have for brackets. Now, important step for when you cut off this pedal down here, you have to leave that little nub because that's a key. And if it takes out, I wish I can get this chain tighter. I hate how loose it is. I took out as many links as I could. Maybe I could just make it a little bit tighter and then make it go on or something like that. But let's start her up. As you just saw, it kind of went, but I'm going to need to make this chain tighter. I'll even have to, if it doesn't, I'll even move the engine if it takes that. Well, I'd have to cut off that piece of plastic. But yeah, we'll try this. Here she is. I connected the throttle like Dave did. I smashed a piece of metal between both cables, as you can see there. And it kind of goes. It needs me to go downhill a lot, and the clutch is burning right now. Next video will be me riding it, or kinda. Alright. Yeah, it's taping.